Hey everyone, so Xbox recently showed a trailer and gave some details for this game called Aniimo, and I'm quite interested because there's something about it that I think is worth discussing. Obviously, it is inspired by Pokemon and Palworld, and I actually quite like the way this game looks. Not just the presentation, but we sort of get hints of what gameplay would be like, but this gives me the feeling that the people that made this have seen Pal World, they've seen Pokemon, and they want to refine the kind of gameplay experiences and the formula that we see in those games. And this looks fun. It does not look original to me, and at this point, I I honestly am not bothered that much by it. Probably because of a little bit of desensitized from Pal World, but this certainly looks significantly more original than Pal World in terms of the design. This does have its own distinct design language. It's more of like a DreamWorks or a Pixar look to the characters, way more than it looks like Pokemon. Whereas Pal World, they just look like they've remixed Pokemon. So I'm not saying anything bad about Pal World. Obviously, the gameplay is offers something significantly different from Pokemon, but this looks cool because we see the player seems to be forming some sort of Metamorian fusion with their Animos, and they're able to, I suppose, um, play as the monsters by fusing with them. This concept looks cool. This is not something that we see in Pokemon. It feels like something maybe a little bit we'd see in Digimon a little bit. So I have a weak spot for monster catching and monster raising, monster battling games. One of my favorite genres of games. This looks cool. It doesn't look hugely original, but it looks very fun. It has its own design language. The presentation looks sharp. It is very fine tuned and refined. It's polished presentation. The only problem that I see in this game would be an over reliance on monetization and pay to win. That is something that could very easily, this game could devolve into that. But this, I think it looks fun. I think the presentation is great here. Um, I, I mean, I do have a soft spot for monster raising games, so this looks cool to me. And I'm a big fan of the Pokemon games, but I don't like all of them equally. I don't like being a negative Nancy. I hate having to throw Nancy's under the bus, but I don't want to be a negative Nancy. But not all of the Pokemon games are in are very fun to me. Some of them I've actually disliked, and I played most of the way through them, and I didn't complete some of them because they just were not fun to me. But I want to see the Pokemon series do better, but it's not good for Pokemon as a series to just be king of the hill and for no one to challenge them. IPs need to have healthy competition. Companies, businesses need to have healthy competition. So I'm not going to say, oh, Pokemon's the only one allowed to do monster catching and battling and whatnot. I want more. I want more. This looks like it has its own distinct identity. It looks like a lot of fun. But I had a major issue when I went to look up the trailer for this because I watched this a few days ago. I went to look it up again, and I could not, for the life of me, I spent a couple minutes. I could not remember the name. I could not type it out. I kept typing in different versions of amino words that look like amiibo, and the problem is the branding behind this is not original. The branding sounds too much like amiibo, and I tried amico. I could not get the name right. So eventually I just looked through the Xbox page. I found it. This combat looks cool to me. This actually looks like fun. I really like seeing this. I'll replay it again because most of the trailer was sort of presentation, and now we want to look at the gameplay here. So this kind of looks like they're taking. I'm not going to say Breath of the Wild because it's quite small-minded to say anything that has green grass and the blue skies Breath of the Wild. It just has an open world exploration flavor to it, and we've had open world exploration games for decades now, but for some reason, Breath of the Wild has just been so prominent in our cultural consciousness. I mean, that combat looked fun. You do a roly roll, you crash into some dudes, you make their life bars pop out. I mean, that sounds like a good Saturday night to me. Um, I don't exactly know what's going on here, but sort of these effects with the flowers and whatnot. I mean, this looks fun. This looks interesting. Again, my worry is that this will be heavily reliant on monetization, and it won't be fun. There'll be a sort of a battle pass system, and sort of exploiting players and forcing them to waste time uh, until they submit and they just pay for the battle pass or they pay for the premium currency. And that's the real risk, is that this could have a very strong start and then it could be ruined by monetization. That's unfortunately what I see happening here. I believe this is going to be a live service game, but this looks cool. I would like this to do well. I think they said, this will be on multiple platforms, mobile and whatnot. Here you have your Breath of the Wild shot. We have to say it. We have to say it's a Breath of the Wild shot because that's what it is. Call a spade a spade. Um, that's the Breath of the Wild shot, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory or unoriginal way. That's just what we call it now these days. Um, I I kind of hope this does well. I want Pokemon to be challenged. I want Pokemon to have competition to where they have to do better. This looks cool. This looks fun. Um, Xbox Series XS. Obviously, it's going to be playable on their ROG Ally. It says Xbox PC, Xbox Cloud. So I presume that you'd be able to play this on mobile devices, but I'm not 100% certain. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think this is gonna be a worse Palworld? Um, I I like the way it looks so far. I'm interested in seeing and hearing what you guys have to say about it. Okay, take care. All right, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. See ya.